and welcome to Getting to Know ACS with Tracy
and Jasmine.
How are you guys doing today?
Yes, how are you?
So, as you see, we don't have a guest. But why don't we have a guest? Because we're going to talk to you today about our upcoming guest. And if you're interested, or if there's a subject that you would like to hear us talk about, or a program you'd like to have us highlight, go ahead and put that in the comments, and we can see what we can do for you. So, Jasmine is going to be doing some talking today.
Oh, help.
Okay, so we're going to just talk about some of the programs that we're planning on having on the podcast, so that you can kind of look forward to those. So what do we got on deck? What do we got? What do we have on deck? I do know how to speak. Okay.
So we definitely have child, youth, and services, because I feel like surprisingly a lot of people don't know how their program works entirely.
Right.
But I feel like they are the hub for all the other programs, like Skies Unlimited, the SAC program. Yes.
Right. And with child and youth services, like you said, we have the Skies Unlimited and all that. But people do always seem to call ACS,
yes.
wanting to know, how can I get my child enrolled in this class, or how can I get my child enrolled in child care and all that stuff. So we're going to have them coming on, and they're going to kind of explain. First we're going to have child and youth services come on and explain what they do, and then we'll have Skies come on and explain. So that'll be two different guests that we're going to have.
Which, Skies Unlimited is different. I'm not too sure about their program. They do a lot. Right. But we want them to go into detail about what they do, because I know I saw something on their Facebook about them having like a driver's test on there.
They have if you have a teenager that's ready to get their driver's license, you can come on post and they can do their driver's education. Yes. So
that one I think would be a really good one.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking to them. Who else do we have coming?
We have the MWR director.
What?
He doesn't know yet, but
okay, let this serve as your notice, Mr.
Oh yes, you are coming on, sir. Well, school liaison office.
Okay, so school liaison. And even though school has already started, there's still people that are probably coming in. And again, not so much that they ask ACS, but I don't know if you all are aware, but we are on a couple of the different Facebook pages that we follow. And oftentimes I'll go on there and I will see what kind of questions. And one of the things that I noticed, especially because this is PCS season, one of the things that I noticed is that people have a lot of questions about the schools. And it's like, okay, I'm moving to El Paso, what school do I put them in? What people don't realize is there's a gazillion school districts here in El Paso.
And literally living on one side of the street can put you in a completely different school district like me.
Right.
So, but yes, they wanted to actually wait until school started to see how everything was going to go and how everything's going to flow.
Right.
And then I think it would be a great time after that to kind of see what issues they have been able to solve, or what issues they're seeing within the school district.
Right.
And then kind of address that, or just explain what they do, how they can help you.
How they can help you and stuff. And again, like I said, moving here, if you know where you're going to live, what side of town, it helps if you have an address, like Jasmine said, because you can literally live on the same street. But then there's a cutoff, and you may end up in
a completely different one.
You might be in Socorro School District or Ysleta School District. So especially for those people who are coming from small places where you may just have one school district or two school districts. El Paso does have multiple school districts, and their start dates are different.
I believe right now they're trying to kind of be similar, so all the school districts are trying to be on the same page. I believe there's some differences, like parent-teacher conferences and stuff like that. But yes, and then the school liaison's office actually works with the military liaisons at the school.
Okay.
So if you are having issues, they can connect you with that person at your school, and then they have events for military families.
Okay, and that's good, to know, because now all the schools don't have a military liaison. It's just schools that have a certain percentage of military kids. So, but they'll come on and they'll clear up all that. They'll talk about all that stuff. So that'll be really exciting. And then what else do we have?
We will be addressing employment readiness because all the jobs are going to open during the holiday season.
Yes, right? Get those, it may be a temporary job, but temporary jobs turn into permanent jobs.
Yeah, and sometimes you just need to know what you like doing, right?
Exactly.
Because if you don't like it, you're like, oh, thank God. It is over.
Look, you could be like, I always wanted to work retail or whatever, and then you get in there, it's like, I don't like people so much.
Right. And then it's nice because the kids are actually back in school, so you might have too much free time, and you're just like, I need to do something, meet people.
And then it's a good time, if you do Christmas shopping and all that stuff, good time to save up some money, get some extra money, or if you're planning on taking leave after the holidays, you can use that to, fund that leave time or your little vacation fund.
Yes.
So, but employment readiness will be coming back on. They'll be talking about their upcoming job fair because we did have a job fair before.
Hiring fair.
Thank you for correcting me. And and that's the thing. I'm glad you said that. I'm glad I said what I said, but I'm glad that you said what you said, so that they will explain what the difference is between a job fair and a hiring fair, because there is a difference in those two. I'm not going to tell you what the difference is because I want you to tune in.
Yep.
So you can hear what the difference is. You probably can guess in the names. But anyway, okay. And then what else do we have?
So dealing with the holidays, we will be getting into anger and stress classes that we offer because the holiday season, I don't know if it's just me, but with all of those holidays coming up, I am stressed. I don't like shopping for other people.
So you like really shopping for you. You like shopping for your office.
Yeah. Yes.
That was an inside joke.
Yeah. So, and then with that too, we will bring on the victim advocates once again.
Okay.
Because again, with all the stress, more fights can occur, whether it's just
right.
verbal.
It's stress. Put you in stressful situations. But before we talk about the victim advocates, just going back to the stress and anger.
Yeah.
We will have someone from Family Advocacy come on and actually speak about that, and hopefully we can get them to do a little bit of stress management, some simple exercises, some techniques that they can walk us through just to kind of help that stress level come down, because like you said, the holidays, it's a season. And it's just one holiday after another.
It keeps coming.
And there's all these people. It's like, oh my gosh.
Have you guys ever shopped and you're just like, why did I wait till the last minute?
That's me every year.
Yes.
I like to shop the week before Christmas.
It's like the lines don't exist in the street. We're just, okay.
And then, because October is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, so we will be having our victim advocates come on. And they're just going to talk to you about some warning signs. What does domestic violence look like? Yeah. Because a lot of people are under the impression that domestic violence is only physical,
right?
But it's emotional, it's financial, it's spiritual. There's all different levels of domestic violence, and no matter how you spin it, it's still violence against your partner.
Right.
So,
and they do something every year in October for that. So keep an eye out every October. They'll have some event going on.
Right. So, we'll hopefully they'll highlight that. If not, we may not highlight it on this show, but they can always check the MWR page and find out what that special event is going to be. So we'll get more into that. Yes. And then who else are we going to have?
We'll be getting with the craft.
Auto Craft Center.
Is that what it's called?
I think that's what it's called. Is that what it's called? Auto Crafts?
Yes.
Okay, I had to get approval on that one.
Yes, because the districts they have more breaks. So it'll be nice because you're like, oh great, what are we gonna do for this 2-week vacation again?
Right.
And I mean, if you can go do some crafts, why not?
Why not? And I think they're reasonable in price. And then also with that, because if you noticed, I said it's the Auto Craft Center. So they also have mechanics over there. So we're gonna have Miss Fox, I believe, she's going to come over. Well, I'm sure that's who it's going to be. It's just a matter of when. Yeah. But be on the lookout for that. And then she has the Resiliency Through Art program, which I think is really cool. She'll come on and talk about that as well.
Yeah.
So.
And that's where they do like the painting. Is that correct?
Yeah, they do. They do all kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of any of it right now.
That's why we're bringing her on.
I know. It's like, but they're crafty.
Yes. And then we are focusing a lot on the holidays. So we're going to do couples communication, but holiday edition, because going out on those holidays, you have to deal with your significant other's family members, and
and sometimes you have to deal with your family members.
Oh, that too, yeah. That too. And you just, got to learn to communicate.
Right, and communicate effectively. Because, sometimes people, it's like, oh, I communicate.
Yeah.
But is your communication effective?
Yes.
So we're going to talk about, couples communication and, like you said, how you communicate with their family, which goes back to the stress and anger management and stuff. So,
Yes.
we'll get all into the weeds on that one. That should be really fun. Tune in.
Yes.
Okay.
I did put holiday stress relief, but that'll be another segment once again for the super stressed out.
It's like if that first stress relief, if that first one didn't work, come on, we have more for you.
Yes, and then holiday season where people can feel alone.
Okay.
We are going to do a segment on how not to fall for a jerk or jerkette. I'm so excited for this one. So excited. I really want to know the information on that.
And so to be clear, this how not to fall for a jerk or jerkette, this is really geared towards our singles, people who are single. Like you said, it's the holidays. I just need to have somebody.
Right.
But that somebody may be a little crazy and you didn't know it because you fell for a jerk or jerkette. So we're going to teach you how not to, or go over a few little pointers on how not to fall for one of those.
Yeah, that way you don't tolerate it during the holiday season, just so you have somebody, and then after the holiday season, you're just like, Right.
And in that class, it's just, it's really talking about, I love teaching this class, but it's really talking about, what a healthy relationship looks like versus a relationship that's just built on, hey, I like how you look.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
So we're going to, like you said, during the holidays, we're going to go over that. So, and then what's the last thing?
The last one is going to be housing. So it's not going to be in this order. We were just naming programs that we're going to be interviewing. And this housing is, we have to find them still.
We have to figure out where they're located.
Yes, but apparently I believe that they help with finding housing, and then I believe I don't know, it's a lot. We'll find them, we'll get them to give you all the good information.
Right. So they're the ones that, they're not the Balfour Beatty,
right,
who does the on-post housing. This housing actually helps you, because in case there's not housing available on post, they help you find places that, they've had a good experience for the military with. They can also, help you know which ones may not require you to have a deposit, or maybe the deposit isn't as high because you're in the military. And I think that's a good one to have because, like I said, we are on some other pages. And I noticed that there's a lot of questions when people are getting ready to PCS here, and they're just, and there's nothing wrong. It's great to ask, the community, but they'll ask questions about, which side of town is better?
Yes.
What can I expect? And everybody's experience is different. So I kind of sometimes I cringe at those because it's like somebody's like, this side of town is better than this side of town, and
it depends on
what you want, so it's like if you don't like a lot of traffic, you might want to steer away from one certain area of town.
Mine is the east side.
I was trying not to call them out, Jasmine.
Oh my gosh, that traffic every morning is not okay.
So exactly, and and then sometimes amenities aren't that important. Northeast is kind of quiet, but we don't have all the stuff, but we're centrally located, so we can get to everything. So
yes,
but they will give you unbiased
Yes, and then depending, because some people move and they're like, I need this within a school district. So then they can be like, okay, this school district can provide these services for you.
So, yeah. Don't you like how we tie all that together? So it's like we're going to have the school liaison on here. Yes. So then they can call them and find out what the pluses are for different school districts, and then you can decide which school district you want to go to. And then that way you can, when you go to housing, it's like, okay, I want to live in this area because I want to be in this school district.
Which can be hard too, because right now, like the housing market is not even just to buy, but like to find somewhere to stay is a little difficult right now.
Yeah, because we're in a housing shortage. Okay. So we have a lot of great things coming up. We just wanted to jump on here and let you guys know that we haven't forgot you. We're still trying to put these podcasts out. We had a little hiatus.
Sometimes we just need time to think, because we're trying to service you guys. So if you guys have any suggestions or ideas or questions for any of these programs, we can compile them. That way we ask them when we do the interview, and you will have your answers from the source too, not from somebody who is guessing.
Right, exactly. Like I said, it's always good to get information, but it's better if you get the information directly from the source. So that's what we're trying to do. And these programs may not fall within ACS, but they are a part of MWR, and we're all a part of the MWR family. So part of getting to know ACS is getting to know MWR too. So that's why we're bringing them on. And like I said, a lot of these questions that we get at our front desk, that where people are calling ACS and asking questions, that's where we're trying to get some of these people who were some of our guests, our future guests, because it's the continuing of the call. So it's like people still aren't real familiar with what all ACS does or what all MWR does. Even though people like to think ACS, we don't do everything.
But we can refer you.
We can refer you, exactly. We can find out where you need to go. So that doesn't mean stop calling us. But we need job security too. So we have all those things. Hopefully you guys are looking forward to it. Again, like Jasmine said, if there are any questions that you have, or if there's a subject that you'd like us to highlight, just drop it down in the comments, and then we will see if we can work that in and get that either a guest on here, or find out the information to pass on to you guys and do a one-on, where me and Jasmine are just talking to each other.
And really do help us out with the questions, because sometimes we might not have the same question as you would have, because everybody's situation is different. So,
exactly.
If you want to know something, again, if we don't, you just let us know and we'll ask those questions.
We'll find out. That's one thing we can do. We can find out. So with that being said, I think that's going to conclude our podcast for today. Thank you all for listening. And again, this is Tracy
and Jasmine. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell.
Bye.
Bye.